Okay, I have here a video of a Pendaflex hanging folder junk journal that I made for a friend who is currently recuperating from some major surgery. So I thought she would enjoy this to sort of play around with. Like I said, I started this with a Pendaflex hanging folder, one of those green ones. I cut off the metal hanging parts, and it is, let's see what we have here, about 8.5 inches by about 6 inches wide, and that doesn't include this little flap here. The ribbon is the white Hug Snug seam binding that I colored with, let's see, what did I use? I think I used a Crayola marker and alcohol and let it soak in the alcohol for a while and made a spray out of it. And I can't remember the color, berry or something. I don't remember what the color is, but anyway, I closed it with about 3 yards of it so that she can cut off what she needs to use inside to embellish it further if she'd like. It is a single signature journal since there's really no spine. I did add 3 of these eyelets to see how it would do, and it was okay. It kind of pushed it out a little bit. They're a little bit big. I put a little charm here. I'm not sure if I'm in focus or in the frame or not. This is just a little, I don't know, fishing swivel barrel hook or whatever. I don't remember what they're called. But I used that. And if she wants to add other charms, there's room. There's a key. Here's a leaf. Here's a little heart that, or I mean a star that says just for you. And then a little heart with a flower. And then I tied a bow here and a bow here. And then this is in the middle. I used die cuts with the View Floral Fair stack. Somehow I ended up with 3 pads of that paper. It is not my favorite. I don't think it's very good quality, but that's my opinion. It seems to tear easy, or either that or I'm a little bit rough. I used waxed sewing thread from the Walmart sewing department, and I pieced together the cover for this rather than try to do just one big piece. I did the front and the back and then the flap, and then the inside I just left pretty much, or I left uncovered because it seemed to go well with the colors that I had chosen. So we have an inside flap here. Let me check to make sure we're still in the frame here. I did this yesterday and I was way out of frame, and I'm not sure how that happened. So I had tea-dyed some of the papers before and it seemed to weaken them, so I just cut them up so that they were smaller. The main ones here are not tea-dyed, just the little extra ones. This little side pocket here is tea-dyed. I have a doily that is tea-dyed. I put a circle of paper in there, glued it down partially to make a tuck spot. Put a little banner here. The idea was to use it as a tuck spot, but they just don't seem to work well for me. They seem to fall out, so the papers do. So it's more just an embellishment, and then little flat back pearls, different colored ones that I used. And I distressed or colored the edges with, let me see if I can find what I used here. Thought I was ready, but I wasn't. It's called Chalk Edger Colors from Prima Marketing, and this is all the colors that I got. It was on sale through Amazon, and I used Olive Vine and Vintage Pink and I think I used rock moss a little bit, but mostly it was either the vintage pink or the olivine. And I will show, this one is the olivine. Oops, let's see, let me show you what they look like. Kind of cool little things. There's a lot of ink on them, and then they just pop out, look like little irons. And you pop them back in, very easy to use. Have no idea how long they'll last. I'll just show you. I put them in the bucket here. So I've only opened a few of them because I just got it. So it's a lot of ink. So when you see the pink, it's the vintage rose, and when you see green, it's olivine. Okay, so we'll go on the back here. I can't remember the name of the paper design, but it's a digital paperback through Tsunami Rose on Etsy. So I printed on the backs of the die cuts with the view paper so that there would be a design there. I made a little pocket here, did some embossing, made some tags with my Cricut, and another tag here, a little stamp on the back that says memories, little bits of fibers and hearts. Kind of went with the flowers and the butterflies and the hearts throughout. There is some tea-dyed paper in here. This is a little fairy stamp. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, one of their small ones. More tags, here's just some regular ribbon that I got at Walmart, and this is more of the seam binding. And again, this is from Tsunami Rose. She did this deliberately because a lot of us don't like to have just the plain white paper. Another stamp here, more trim. And my trim, I did order some recently that hasn't come yet, but I take the term fibers literally, and I just use whatever I can get my hands on. Like I have, this was from a scarf, and I believe this is like eyelash trim, this white stuff. And then here's the yarn, and it pulls apart nice and makes nice fibers, I think. So I used that for the green. And then I had some pink that I might have used. Oops. Sorry, didn't mean to bounce you around here. I think I used all of that I had out, but I have a big old bag of it. And then I have some white satin from some wedding gowns that I deconstructed, and I used the same spray ink on that, and then I just pulled the fibers apart. That's what this one is right here. So, yep, that's what I did. Okay, so here's, what do they call, Primitive Heart from, I don't know if it's Tim Holtz, maybe? Not sure, but I used my Big Shot. Here's another stamp that says Capture the Moment, and I did a little dragonfly thing there. Here's a butterfly. More fiber. This is a postcard that I ordered from Etsy. There's nothing on here, so it's just for journaling. Just for looks and journaling. The dark ink that I used ended up bleeding through, so I had to cover it up with some things here, which to me just makes it more interesting. So yeah, here we got the dragonflies. It says fluttering by to say hi. And again, here's the satin that I just took the fibers apart, and this is what's left. I could probably not use quite so many. We'll see. Let's see, another little primitive heart on a card. A little, I call this a weed stamp. I don't know what it is, just some kind of floral thing. Little music stamp. I get a lot of my stamps at the thrift store, so they're just little tiny things. And they work great. I think they're cute. I like them. Okay, and then here's some more. This is tea dyed. This is the printed from Tsunami Rose. Single signature, a little butterfly. Here's some green fiber. Here's some of the white eyelash trim, and a little piece of the ribbon. Here's a little stamp that says favorite and a definition. And then this ink is the Marby Uchida, and I got it from the thrift store. I didn't even know I had it, and I tried it out and I really liked it. It goes real well with the colors that I have. There's a lot of ink on that stamp pad. So anyway, that was a wooden heart stamp from somewhere. I'm really bad about knowing where I got these things from. I do not remember. I take the packaging apart and I put them in drawers and bags and whatever, and then I just don't even know where things come from. So I practiced, and then I just cut it out with pinking shears. This is a leaf and a heart, not a fiber. And then I made a side pocket. The heart's in the side pocket. And there's another one of those little stamps. And then I made a double pocket here. And put some tags that she can journal on there. And then I started going crazy with the hearts, and I put a bunch of hearts together on a little label thing. There's a little rose stamp, and this is like cut out from one of them. A little bow down here, and then these are Prima flowers in the, I don't know if you can see this. I've never used these before, but this is what I got, and so this is what I used. And then I just glued it with my favorite, which, let me see if I can find it. Okay, this is my favorite glue, Beacon Fabri-Tac. Talked about it a lot on Journal Junkies, and people are probably tired of hearing it, but it works for everything. But I will use like the tacky glue because it has a finer tip on it. And let's see, I have used this Kohl All glue, which is hard to get. It is a British product, and the Fabri-Tac seems to be the same thing, only a thicker version of it, and it's cheaper. The one I showed you is about $10 for the big bottle. And let's see, what else have I used? A little bit of the glossy accents. Don't use it very often because the Fabri-Tac seems to take care of just about everything. So I'll show you the back here. So I just used a little paper brad. I think it was a yellow one, maybe it's green, I don't know. And then I open it or flatten it out, whatever you call it, and put the paper clip top around it, and then I put the glue over it and let it sit, and it seems to stay well enough. And I think I'm just about done here. And I got a little pink stamp there, and a little floral stamp there. Here's some of the pink little fibers here. Got a big old bag of that. And then this is off of Wheel of Fortune. No, this is off of my Cricut. Here's a little birdcage stamp. And an extra piece that was supposed to go under here and stay, but it doesn't want to. I put a little Martha Stewart butterfly on here, stapled it on. And then the rest of those tea dye papers I cut and put here. Found a little bag and had a tape spot across there, so I just punched out the flower shape or the scallop shape and used some washi tape on there to keep it on. And then I put some, here's some more tea dye paper in here for her to use if she wants to. And this is kind of noisy, sorry. But anyway, I back the bag with some cardboard, I think cereal box or something before. I think I taped this one down with my score tape so that it would stay. And that is it. It's got little bags, little tucks. It's got some fibers. It's got no tabs, really. I didn't do tabs on this one because of the edging, or the flap here. So I didn't want to get too crazy with it. So it folds over, and that is it. And I hope that you enjoyed watching this. If you have any questions, let me know. I used the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and these charms I got through eBay or Etsy. You can get hundreds of them for like $5 with free shipping. It takes a couple months to arrive, but you get a lot of little charms, and there's just a good variety in there, and makes it easy to create something fun for your friends or your family. So, alright, well, you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching. Bye.